The tree will yield to you. What else is there? The rain will yield to you. The circumstances and conditions will obey a man of covenant. But unfortunately, we are so educated and very wise these days that many of us have written our own Bible and created our own covenants, and then you are expecting God to respect the one you have done. Let's read up. Verse 4. It says, verse 5. Your crops will be so plentiful that you'll still be harvesting grain when it is time to pick grapes. It says, and you'll still be picking grapes when it is time to plant grain. It says you have all that you want to eat, and you will live in safety in your land. This is what God will do if you do your part. In other words, congratulations and welcome will meet together. Are you here? What he means is this, that when you plant, you won't have a period of lack and scarcity. You will still be eating what you had last year. The next harvest will meet the next planting season in your hand. So, like I said, it's not subject to any economy. It is a guarantee for operators of covenant. Not those who have created their own gods, written their own Bibles, and tell all of us to damn the consequences. God said, okay, since you have written your own, this is not covenant I signed with Abraham. The one I signed with Abraham is the one I'm reading now. Let's read on. Let's read on. I will give you peace in your land. You can sleep without being afraid of anyone. I will get rid of dangerous animals in the land, and there will be no more war there. So you can live in heaven while you're here. Give me the next one. You will be victorious over your enemies. Yes. Yes. 5 of you will be able to defeat 100. 100 will be able to defeat 10,000. Let me tell you what it is. What it means is that a labor that 100 people do, 5 of you gather together, your harvest will be like it was 100 people that did it. It's covenant too. It's the covenant. The next one. The next verse. I will bless you and give you many children. I will keep my part of the covenant that I made. I will keep my part. The next verse. Your harvest will be so plentiful that it will last for a year, and even then you have to throw away what is left of the old harvest to make room for the new covenant. Move on. I will live among you in my sacred tent. I will never turn away from you. I will be with you. I will be your God, and you'll be my people. Yes? I, the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, he's signing his signature on the covenant, so that you will no longer be slaves. I broke the power that held you down. I let you walk with your head high up. This is his signature. The Lord said, the Lord said, I will not obey my commands. If you will not obey my commands, you go collect. You go collect woto. Let's find out what he's saying here now. If you refuse to obey my commands, my laws and my commands, and break the covenant I have made with you, this covenant was made with your father Abraham, I will punish you. I will bring disaster on you. Incurable diseases and fever that will make you blind and cause your life to waste away. You will plant your crops, but it will do you no good, because your enemies will conquer you and eat what you have grown. Read on. It is not a question of God forbid. It's not a question. It doesn't answer to God. It doesn't answer to I reject it in Jesus' name. It is like little Judah who runs. He's playing. He goes to put his hands on the fire. And then he's crying. He says, Mommy, you burnt me with fire. Nobody burnt you with fire. So, let's read it on. I will turn against you so that you'll be defeated. Those who hate you will rule over you. You'll be so terrified that you will run when no one is chasing you. If even after all of this, if you still do not obey me, you will now collect the head sister of Woto. He said, I will increase your punishment by 7 times. I will break your stubborn pride and there will be no rain, and your land will be dry, as hard as iron. All your hard work will do you no good, because your land will not produce crops, and the trees will not bear fruit. If you still continue to resist me, to refuse to obey me, what will happen? I will again increase your punishment 7 times. I will send dangerous animals among you. They will kill your children, destroy their livestock, live. Are you hearing that now? Now, it's not that God is wicked. He said, I have said before you today, life and death, blessing and cursing. You have a right to choose. He gave you willpower. He made you like God. And he said, I don't want to force myself on you. I want you to choose. So, I begin this service by telling you that covenant operators will be like Noah's ark. The more the water is rising, the more the ark is going higher. So choose today whether you will follow the covenant or you create your own. Praise the Lord. I was saying that we seem to be in the middle of another pandemic, mental health crisis. Mental health is just a part of the soul care crisis. Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things, and be in health, just as your soul prospers. This is God's desire for everyone who is here, who is a believer. God's highest desire, his greatest desire, is that you prosper. That's why he says that he has created a better future and a better hope. He wants you to arrive at a place where you become the envy of the nations. That's his desire for you, because he's a very good father. But he can't force these desires down your throat. You have to choose, because there are two kingdoms here now. You have to either choose what the enemy is choosing, stay in agreement with the devil, or choose what God is choosing and stay in agreement with God. The choice is yours. Praise the Lord. So, when you give your life to Christ, you are just like someone who entered a door. You just entered a door. That is not all there is to being born again. It's the same way like when you enter school, kindergarten. You just started the pipeline of education. The objective at that level is life skills, values, and virtues. That's the goal of education. But you don't get that entire values, that entire objective or aim or purpose of education at kindergarten class. There are different syllabuses. The curriculum at kindergarten is different from the one from nursery school, different from primary school, so it's different curriculum at every point in time. You can't enter kindergarten and say, I'm now a graduate, I'm now a lawyer. He said, what do you want to be? He said, I'm a lawyer. He said, I want to be a lawyer. Kindergarten, you say you're already a lawyer. The same thing with salvation. The full benefits of what God has available for you, it is at your discovery. He put it for you to mine the ground and discover it. Praise the Lord. So, let's go further. So what is then a prosperous soul? Is to have within yourself the faith, truth, correct thinking, perspective, and attitude that produce success on your inside, from the inside. So if you do not have faith, real faith, there is fake faith. You do not have truth. You are not thinking right. Your perspective is not right. Your attitude is not right. You will not be able to produce success from the inside. So even though there is a failure all around you, if you have these things on your inside, you can reproduce the covenant from the inside. Remember again, Noah was in the middle of crisis. He was in the middle of the storm. Yet in the middle of the storm did not take the ark. Because he was operating in a different ecosystem, in a different atmosphere, while on top of that thing. The same thing with you, my friends. If you have loaded your life with lies, it will sink the ship. It will be like Titanic. You loaded your life with false narrative, false perspective, and you decided to grab it like, when they are doing election, those people who come to thief ballot box, the way they thief it and run. If you hold wrong perspective like that, you're going to end up a failure. That will not be your portion. And that is if you make the right choice. So the consequences of developing a prosperous soul is one. You have the consequence of developing a prosperous attitude and thought pattern is the improvement of your circumstances and conditions. Hey friends, your circumstances and conditions will improve on the fact, on the consequence of developing a prosperous soul. If your soul is not prosperous, in other words, your attitude, there's no attitudinal change, there's no perspective change, there's no correct thinking, there's no correct perspective, and you are arguing on wrong premise. You are standing on something that is obviously wrong, and you are arguing over it. It's just over time you will discover that your conditions and your circumstances will, even if it's changing now, it will look like where you put up, where you switched off fan. It will still go on before it goes off. I was in a salon yesterday, and there was no light. There was light, and after that there was no light again. I don't want to say, you understand, if you're in Nigeria, you understand what I mean. There was light. And we want to paint our country in a good perspective. There was light, and then there was no light again. A miracle happened. I realized that the fan was still on. Almost 2 minutes after, because there was even wind. So the wind were blowing the fan. I looked up, and it taught me something. That you are doing well now does not necessarily mean that you will always do well. But create a system inside you that will continue to keep you in a state where you will always do well. Beautiful. So let's move on. I want to show you some scriptures that will direct us where we're going. Proverbs chapter 14 verse 30. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy is the rottenness of the bone. Any medical doctor here? When someone's bone is rotting, what disease is that? When any medical person, rottenness of the bone, what sickness is that?
It's autolysis. Autolysis. The cells are dying inside. Death from inside. The cells are dying.
Give me that scripture. So, them will go to the lab and find something. Look at what the Bible says. A sound heart is the life of the flesh. If there is negativity on your inside, one of such negativity is envy. It will lead to what Ejije just called autolysis. What are you going to do? Have mercy. They will see it as Ejije. What do you call that? You don't disgrace me. Autolysis. Autolysis. Why we say sickness never get better names? You hear malaria, you think it's something. Typhoid fever. You should have bad names that doesn't look good. Hypertension. Look as it's something good. Autolysis. This name fit the sickness. The name no good for ear. So that's really the main reason people have rottenness of the bone. Bring the next slide, my darling. Message Bible put it this way: a sound mind makes for a robust body. Sometimes you see some people here, you see some people in your family, they are drying up. They go to the hospital. He said, but a runaway emotion corrodes the bone. The next. Hello, shalom. So good to be with you today, my family members. So good to connect with you. Welcome to How Are You? Our chat every 5th day of the week. This is a program of Living Your Dreams initiative that is focusing on strengthening families and impacting society. I'm so happy to see you today. And I am not here alone. I'm waiting for my friends to join me. I'm supposed to be here with Pastor Anguli and Dr. Feyi Shayo. Oh.
Everyone, welcome to another edition of How Are You? Let's chat.
Dr. Faye, let me hear from you. You have not. I want to hear your welcome. Okay, so now that everybody is here, let's go. So everybody, I want to welcome you to How Are You, and where how are you? Not what is a cliche. We're asking how are you because some people are not fine. Forget the makeup, forget the fine outfit. Some people are not really fine. Um, we're going to have this conversation. Just imagine that all of us are in Dr. Feishayo's house and we're just lying on the rug, we're gisting. We are a community, a group of women who want to see a better society, who want to see society impacted, and we have also come from all walks of life. Feishayo is a medical practitioner with Lagos State Government, is a pastor, is a mental health expert. Angwele is a counselor, is an emotional and inner healing practitioner, and also a pastor. We just want to gist with you. We want to talk with you. And there is, so if you also have something you want to chat, put in here. We're just here for 30 minutes. You also have something you want to put in. We'll also like to hear from you. So let's begin with asking this question. So maybe I will start with Faye. Faye, I would like to hear your perspective. We're saying that the new pandemic is brokenness. And of course, as a medical doctor, you already know what pandemic is. How do you see this matter? You might need to unmute. Unmute.
Can you hear me well?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. So the thing about this brokenness being the new pandemic is that being broken now is almost the new normal, in the sense that um, you can be broken and still be functioning. You can be broken and still be going about. Because we're still functioning, we think that we're still alive. We think we're still moving. And it's like having a disease. And because I'm still moving, I'm fine. It's not broken me down. It hasn't stopped me yet. I'm fine. So because of this, we feel I will do something when I stop being fine. Unfortunately, we think that being broken means we must be unusable, not functioning. So we keep moving with the illusion that functioning means we're alive. Moving means we're getting it done. And then we have people that seem to be successful but are broken and are getting away with it. And we're like, no problem. If this is what it means to be broken, please let me be broken and have some money. Let me be broken and be out there. Let me be broken and be a baddie. Like today, we're talking about it at work. And we're like, I want to be a baddie. I want everything to be soft. I want to be, a, a chick that doesn't do anything, and then there's something wrong with it, because normally, as even a woman, you want to do something. We have maternal instincts, we have helping syndrome instincts, where we want to help all the crooked people out there. Any boy that needs fixing, that's the one I want to date, because God has sent me as a helper. So as a woman, you even want to do something, but the fact that we think that doing absolutely nothing and making money is the way forward. We're a broken society. And because we keep getting away with it, it's now the new normal. So that when a person that is whole and maybe was broken and is now fixed comes to you and talks to you, you're like, your own is too much. Your own is too much. So being broken is now the new normal. And being whole is not whole. And until we get out of this area, broken will be the new normal.
That's very serious, because what you're saying, before I talk to Angoli, is it's very possible that someone is leading a Fortune 500 company, and because he's there, he is okay. Unfortunately, he will be bleeding on the people that he's supposed to impact and strengthen. Same with someone
Exactly.
in a religious community. Same with a fashion designer that has two people, apprentice and all of that. It means that that someone is financially okay, or someone is has big status or a celebrity, does not necessarily that the person is functioning properly. It means that the person is functioning in a harmful way. It's called
Exactly.
dysfunctional. And look at how it has left society. Anguli, how do you see this matter?
Well, honestly, it has become a widespread disease, and social media is not helping. We have come to a place where we now recognize brokenness as the in thing. We recognize brokenness as something that is so normal. You go to social media today, and the people who are our role models are people who are broken. So you go out there, you see somebody who is big. You see skits where people are doing rituals, twerking. They are practically naked. But these are the people who are gaining followers, who are gaining so much likes, who have everything. But then you go to that same social media and you want to do something normal. You want to do something healthy. But nobody follows you. So at the end of the day, if you do not deal with it practically, you will just end up following the norm, following what everybody is doing. So at the end of the day, it looks like brokenness is a normal thing. Brokenness is the new healthy. But this is something that we really, really need to focus on, because the truth about it is that these people are dying. Take, for instance, a machine that is not working well. If you do not work it out, fix it, at the end of the day, that machine will not work anymore. It's the same with us. Thank you, Dr. Shayo. You made a point where you said, okay, the fact that I am still working, I'm still waking up, I'm still moving around, doing my daily activities, I'm fine. Brokenness comes from a lot of things. Comes from traumatic expressions.
I can't hear her again.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you again. Can the media team help me check it?
I guess it's network.
I can't hear any of you again.
Hello? Dr. Shaya, can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, okay, so they are saying, I can see the chats. They say they can hear us. Okay, so mommy, maybe your network is a bit challenging.
I can't hear both of you, but go ahead. If you can hear yourselves, go ahead.
Yes, we can. So, as I said, brokenness can come about because of different things that have happened to you in the past and you have refused to work on. But the fact that you are moving doesn't mean that you cannot break down tomorrow. And that breakdown can be anything. It can be a mental breakdown. It can be a physical breakdown. We need to fix it. So that's why it's important that we need to talk about this. Yeah. Okay, so she's not here. Can we have questions? Are there questions? Or Dr. Shai, what do you think?
About brokenness is, it's like having a mug. Like you have a hot cup of coffee or a hot cup of chocolate. My husband likes coffee. And there's this mug he likes. And imagine if there's a crack on it. So because the crack is not chipped off, it's broken. But because it's not chipped off and you can still use the mug, you keep using it because you like the mug. You keep using it because you like the mug. One day, it will either give you a splinter, or it could either cut you. It could even, you
That's
could be
true.
holding a hot cup of coffee and then it just breaks open because it's broken. It's inevitable. It will definitely be non-functioning at some point. So the thing about brokenness is, even if it's functioning, it's better it's not even being used than it functioning and then people being tempted to use it and then get hurt, because broken things hurt people. Broken people hurt people. Broken people break people. Broken people cause more broken people. And the more we keep passing on the baton of brokenness and thinking it's okay, we're going to grow up in a dysfunctional society. For example, I was just in earlier and I was like, I went to the supermarket and there's this girl that came in. She was far from her house and she used a vehicle, a public transport, to get to the supermarket, not her personal vehicle. And she was wearing absolutely nothing, only covering her private organs, no, her private organs, with
Wow.
strips of clothing. And I kept on saying, I kept on looking at her, like, and I kept on looking. She was like, why are you looking at me like this now? I was like, you're very pretty. And the way you're dressed, there's no how you didn't expect anybody to look at you. She's like, oh, ma, but I'm covered. I said, yes, you're not, you're covering what you think is private. You've not left any imagination. There's still a beauty in mystery. There's still um a little beauty in the mystery of things. I didn't have to imagine. I knew where it was. I knew how she looked. There was nothing else left. And I kept on looking. She was like, ma, no, I'm very covered. Even her friend was like, she's very covered today, oh. You know? And how the people were like, she looks very nice. She looks very nice. We should start telling the truth. We should start passing on the truth. When I remember when we were younger, when I was in Fair Foundation, I was younger. I wasn't married yet. I was still, slim. And then we would wear dresses. And the elderly women, this is how they were arranging us. Like, what are you wearing? They were asking us, what are you wearing? They don't really expect an answer, but they're just giving you the consciousness of it. And so the next Sunday, you're most likely not going to wear something skimpy, not because you don't want to, but because you just don't want their stress. After a while, you just learn to dress a particular way to church. And they have passed this from generation to generation. Our generation has refused to pass it on for some reason. And until we keep passing on these customs and traditions, we're going to have people that are raising themselves. We're going to have children and that are raising themselves. And whatever they give us as the norm is what we will take as the norm. Whereby, if we don't speak about brokenness, we will continue to have a dysfunctional society. So thank you so much, Pastor K, for this opportunity. Can you hear us, ma?
I can hear you. You know this thing you said, Our generation, our mothers could do that. You mistakenly dress in terrible or and come out. Oh my God. These children they will go and borrow abuse from Jupiter and bind it together with Pluto and feel. But the fact is this: in living your dreams, we insist that if we can strengthen families, society can be impacted. I realize that our self-image is formed and influenced not only by how our parents treated us, like I've always told you people while we're starting inner healing, but it's also what they taught us about what gives people worth. You see, how we evaluate worth tells eventually will speak in the lives of these children. Many people have grown up in families where our values were measured by world's criteria. It's not that they put it inside you. Your grandparents applied these criteria to your parents. Your parents adopted the criteria and passed them along. They have applied it to us. We have grown up with it. And it has become how we view our world. The world teaches us categories. For instance, appearance. Let's take on the appearance. They say appearance is the key to happiness. So unconsciously, we are taught that it matters most. It matters more than anything. So charisma, as long as you come out, you look good, you dress fine. I'm not saying dressing fine is bad. You are happy. So you find out that many people will do whatever they can to improve their original skin, because something tells you your worth is evaluated by the key to our happiness is appearance. That becomes the criteria through which we view our world. The second criteria becomes the criteria they call performance. Is performance bad? You know, I was teaching performance in church, performance orientation in church. Some will say, Pastor K said we shouldn't walk. Say we shouldn't walk. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about where we are saying we demonstrate our worthiness by how we perform. So it has to be exceptional and higher than everybody. So you find out that we have unhealthy competition. In fact, if I am left to suggest, someone told me, I don't know, I didn't verify it, that there are some countries that when those actors have acted some kind of movies, they go for therapy to recreate and restructure and rebalance their heads. But I can bet you our people here, they will act a very poor man in the movie. He will be the richest man in the movie. When he comes out, he has acted that movie, let's say for 1 month or when he comes out, he's confused. He doesn't know which one is his own. And he's trying to perform so that they will not say that his own. It's a lot, Faye. It's a lot. The third category is a category they call status. Yeah, how many people, how many likes do you have on social media? Who liked your post? Who did not like your post? The competition for recognition. This becomes 3 categories that by which we evaluate our worthiness, and that's one of the things that is causing this brokenness we are talking about. And I thank God that 3 of us here are mothers. We need to do something to strengthen our families so that we can impact society. Again, let me hear from you.
You know, we have a question. How do you handle a broken mother? But before we take that question, I want to say this. We have completely reduced our standards. And until we come back to the original designer, it will keep getting broken. You know, I'm not ashamed of where I'm coming from. I'm not ashamed that I'm a believer. So I will keep saying it. It is only the God who created us who can set a standard. Imagine a camera is in front of me. And then imagine this camera is telling the creator, no, this is how I want to function. I don't want to function this way. There is no way that camera will not break down after a while. Because it is not working. It is not being used according to what the designer has said. So every day we have been taught to believe that believing in the standards of scriptures is outdated. Okay. But it is not. So I think, like I said, we have a question. Somebody says, how do you handle a broken mother? So
the person should ask us what makes her or him think that the mother is broken. Any of us answer the question.
That's another, you see, that's another thing. Because we see things through the lenses which we wear, the lenses which we have on. So it's true. How do you know that your mother is broken? How do you know you are not the one who is broken?
Okay. So, Faye, do you still have? We have 10 minutes. Do you still have something to share? You know, I threw something to three of you. How do we evaluate what by our performance, exceptional performance? Faye, the other day, me and you were sharing my grandson's report. I was dancing like a crazy woman. How do we evaluate how? Is it on our where we sit in the plane? How do we purchase our acceptance ticket? this competition for recognition. How many followers do you have on social media? How many likes did you get? Who likes me? Who did not like me? I hope to hear from you people.
Okay, so I also want to let us know that we have questions. And somebody
Okay.
asked here,
Yeah.
are fathers not also involved in this? Why are we talking about mothers, stressing it with mothers? So I think I'll answer that. It's not like, maybe because we are mothers, that's why we are talking about, we are just saying mothers. But the entire society is at fault. The fathers, uncles, siblings, the economy, the way the generation is just going, the way the world is going is tilting. That's why we are calling it a pandemic. It's tilting towards a place where brokenness is normal. So it's not about the mothers alone.
Even when you work in the hospital, even when we look at this thing, it's even, I don't want to say even men are worse, because a lot of problems we have in society is father daddy issue. Let's hear from you. We'll continue next week.
I feel that the reason why we're talking about women a lot is because it's easier to spot a broken man than a broken woman. Because men would express in either a violent way or in a reserved way. You will see the change fast with men. But because women, we have multiple hats, we can easily just blend in like chameleons and just take the shape or form of whatever thing we're doing at that moment. Whereby, because we are multifunctional, you won't easily grab up fast that this woman is hurt, this woman is broken. Because we're multifunctional, we won't get it as fast as if it was a man. If it's a man, most likely than none, you would be able to know when a man is broken. He shouts too much, daddy will come. Everybody's running and covering themselves with duvet because I beg, off all the AC, off all the TV, put fan on top of the TV so that it will be cold, so that you will not know if you're watching television. So why did you buy the television? So it's easier to spot when a man is broken than a woman that is just, mommy she's the CEO, she's the chef, she's the cook, she's the everything. By the time she's blending into all these things, you would have missed the fact that she's broken. Until she slapped you one slap that she has never slapped you, she gave birth to you. Then you now say, wait. It's like there's something going on with this woman. So I think that's why for me I talk about women a lot. But everybody gets broken. Everybody gets injured. And what gives us brokenness is life. Life happening to us. And the way we react to it is what determines how, if we break or if we crack, or if we're still whole at the end of it, or we can be broken and then get back to being whole. I think basically that's it about brokenness.
Someone is asking here, how do you know you are broken?
And that's Pastor Benson-Akhigbe.
Ma, can you hear us?
Why are you throwing the question to me? When all of us went to an inner healing class together. Why you throwing it to me?
Okay, so for me, there are ways you can know you are broken. So I'm just going to say a few. The way you respond. You can when there is a challenge that faces you. How is the inside? Are you anxious? Are you worried? What are your responses in your daily life? Okay, let me give an example. I was going to work, I think about a month ago, and I boarded a cab. And then, you know how Nigeria is. Somebody was trying to overtake.
I will check that
before you.
Where? Check the media guys.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, stop now.
Okay. So as I was saying, this car just overtook my cab, and then my cab man just went off, started insulting him. Before you know what has happened, that one stopped his car, came out of the car, and hit my cab man. You know, all this happened in a flash. You see, I was so surprised because, come on, what happened? What just happened? Yes, he made a mistake by overtaking you in a bad way, but the response was so much more than that issue. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, somebody else could have been in that issue and just taking it and just drive past, but it resulted to some kind of fight. You understand? Now, that is the state of each of them's heart, or each of them's inner working at that point in time. I know that the economy, I know that challenges, different things push us to a place, but the way you respond at the end of the day shows if you are broken or not. Okay. So that's one of them. Those two things. Let me hear Shayo. So the way you respond and the way your inner workings are when there is a challenge.
Okay.
For me, it's performance. One way, when I want to put up a picture on social media, the first thing I ask myself is why. What am I trying to do? You should always ask yourself why. Whatever you do, why? Am I trying to show people how fine my dress is? Why am I trying to show them how fine my dress is? Or when I want to put up something on my status, like, oh, I got a degree, or I got a certificate, I got whatever I'm doing, I ask myself, is it for me or is it for something else? I remember when I used to go to work and I will make up, I will everything, and the story was, oh, she's always looking nice, always looking nice, and I like the accolades. After a while, I was loathing for it. I was pushing for it. So I gave myself a 6 months punishment of no makeup to work. Not because so that I would teach myself that no, no, we're not going to do like this. No. Because if we don't ask why we're doing things, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be liked. Everybody wants to be, everybody wants people to be hailing them and praising them and everything. But what matters most is the audience of one. And imagine if everybody's happy with you and God is not proud of what you're doing. I can't imagine how naked I would feel. Like, I can't really imagine it. So the first thing that matters is he happy? If he's happy, let's do this. Let's do it. If he's not happy and everybody's going to be happy, I would rather he is happy, that's God, and everybody is unhappy. All of you get with the program finally at the end of the day. Until you get to that place, you would always want to have everybody, and it's not possible that everybody will be happy with you. It's not possible that everyone will be impressed with you. There's sometimes I'll even I'll dress up, everybody's like, God, you want to kill them? And my husband will be like, I didn't even see what you want. I'll have committed suicide 20 years ago. I'll have committed suicide. But if I am fine with how I look, I am comfortable with the thing I'm wearing, I feel good, I look good. Let's move on. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. He will get, after a while, he'll start saying, this is what my wife wears. This is how my wife looks. This is how my wife is. We are permanent partners. This is how my wife looks. Until you get to that place of being settled with yourself, of being settled in your skin, of being settled the way God created you, chubby and dark. You're going to continue performing until you start getting depressed. Because all these people that are outside there that you're performing for, they're not okay also. They are not full also. So now you want likes from people that are not okay also. There's something wrong with all this. So you have to be happy with the 12 likes Put it out there. Has God given you a message? You got 15 likes. Put it out there. Put it out there. Put it out there. Keep putting it out there. They say, why are you even wasting your time? People are not even looking at. Keep putting out there. But because you got 2 likes, you stopped. You have sinned against your own self. So you'll be wondering, why am I not feeling satisfied? Why am I not feeling okay? It's because you are not what you're supposed to be at this time. Sir, ma, you are broken.
Oh my God, child, that is so. You just put it out there. So the truth about it is, if I put something up on social media or I say something, if I don't have accolades, am I okay? If I'm not okay, it shows that I'm broken. And I need to work on it. You know, this issue of brokenness, Mama, it is in different levels. Different levels. You have high levels, small ones.
We are running out of time. Actually, we are running out of time. Can we pick it up from here? Next week? We stop with how do you know you are broken? How do you know you're broken? We need to pick it up from here next week. For everyone that joined us today, the story is still developing. We are just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
We haven't gone.
I really would like to, Mama, can I say this?
Go ahead.
The moment we realize that brokenness is a pandemic, we will all start having compassion, understanding, and a resilience to want to work it out. Because it's no longer about just one person. Everyone has to work together to ensure that this pandemic is broken. It was like what happened during the COVID period. Everybody was doing their part. Do you understand? Everybody was doing their part. So we all need to do our part so that this pandemic can be curbed once and for all. I just wanted to put that out there.
And that's a very strong one. Very strong. You two of you must hold this thing here. You must hold it. Everyone that joined us today, we just scratched the surface. Let's reappear here. Come back again here at this time next week. The question is, how do you know you're broken? That's the question they're asking us. So how are you? How do you know you're broken? Thank you so much. Tomorrow, we're going to take the prayer. Usually we discuss today. We're going to pray for everyone tomorrow. Ladies, all of you are going to be on set with me again. This same thing will become the prayer for tomorrow. The examples we have made, some of these examples you made are so real. Not only the how you nailed it. Tomorrow is God's secret weapon. Please, ladies, let's come back and pray for the people who have been through things. We are so out of time, I can't continue. Thank you so much from this side.
Thank you.
Would you like to make a closing statement? Give us a closing statement.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. My closing statement is, you need to do your part. You need to do your part to fix this pandemic. It's not enough for you to be aware and just sit there. What are you doing?
And my statement will be this: you can be whole, you can be fixed, you might be a crack, you might be broken, whatever it is, it can be fixed. So join us next week Thursday as we go through that process also. Tomorrow we'll pray about it. Next week Thursday we'll hit the nail on the head. Shalom.
Shalom.
All powerful women, I need their handles. Thank you so much. God bless you. Good night.